Habari ma Africa, mimi ni King, nina furaha kukutana na wewe. Asante kwa kutazama King's. So, ladies and gentlemen, I'm not sure if you saw this video of the former Chief Justice Raymond Zondo, who was speaking about Jacob Zuma and how the judiciary made a good statement by showing you or showing us that even if you are a former president, that if you find yourself in the wrong side of the law, that they can send you to prison. Yeah, Raymond Zondo said that. The same Raymond Zondo who kept quiet about Pala and all the foreign currency that was found in a couch. Yeah, the same people who allowed the sealing of the CR7 campaign, the same people that allowed people of who robbed Pala, nobody was arrested in Pala. You see, the law in our country has got eyes. It knows who to favor and who to arrest. We're going to talk about that. I want to speak about Nasiphi Moya, the mayor of Tshwane. She's operating with Tshwane Yatima. Tshwane Yatima is a campaign that they are doing where they are switching off lights everywhere. And apparently they have switched off lights at Vetscopis hospital. And people are saying, what? You even switch off lights in a hospital where people who are maybe in need of the electricity there, and people are saying, but what must they do? If people are owing them 1 million rand and they are not making the payment. The funny thing about government is that you are allocated money for rates and taxes, for rates and services, and why do you skip months up to your bill getting to 1 million rand? And again, is that issue, should politicians have a heart to say, okay, we know we are switching off lights, but a hospital, really? Can you also switch off lights in a hospital? Will they do it in the big hospitals? I don't know. Let's talk about that, Paseta, and much more.
Welcome to King Said So, Africa's one land, one language, one currency, one army on King Said So. Africans can unite. Your Pan-Africanist podcast. Enjoy.
Peace in Pan-Africanism to all my African brothers and sisters from all around the world. Welcome back to King's. So I'm your host, Kagiso Hlongwane Sono, and we're back at it again with another one. And this time around, I'm just covering Raymond Zondo and the mayor, Dr. Nasiphi Moya there in Tshwane. Guys, ladies and gentlemen, I will continuously thank each and every one of you who are supporting and sending your 50 rand to the Pan-African School of Economics, Technology and Agriculture. I'm sure you guys saw the architectural work. It's beautiful. It's breathtaking. When we say the architectural work is breathtaking, that's what we need, ladies and gentlemen. So there is absolutely no way that we can build this multi-million rand project without your support. There's no way we can build it without your support. So the little support that you can do, African child, sending a contribution of 50 rand, 100 rand, 1,000 rand, 100,000 rand, we appreciate it. Oh, better yet, you can follow the footsteps of Mike Khadebe and donate 1 pallet of bricks to Paseta by sending us a 1,500 rand, and we will send you a certificate of gratitude showing that we appreciate you partnering with Paseta. Play your role, African child. Let us answer the question, what did you do in your time and why don't you build your own? We are answering that question through Paseta. Now, Raymond Zondo thinks we are stupid, that one. Down this lele, that one. Down this lele. And he went again, an opportunity that they will get. Abotuli Madonsela, Raymond Zondo, they will attack with Jacob Zuma, continue to paint him as the worst thing that ever happened in South Africa. Maybe you guys did not see that video. I just saw it now actually, and this is what Raymond Zondo said.
I've already mentioned the SIU, but I think I deserve to mention the judiciary, because it is the judiciary that issued the Nkandla judgment that in the view of many turned the tide. It is the judiciary that sent out a very good message that whether you are president or a former president, if you have done wrong, we will send you to jail. It is the judiciary that made sure that when some irregularities were done to release a former president from prison. It is the judiciary which declared that that release was unlawful. But it was the executive which wanted us to believe that coincidentally, when he came back, there was this plan that certain prisoners should be released, and he just fitted into that plan. Some of us did not believe that. With those words, Advocate Mchibi, I thank you very much for having invited me. I hope that your conference will continue to look at ways in which our fight against corruption in all our countries will be more effective as we move forward. Thank you.
And that's what Raymond Zondo said. I must say, ladies and gentlemen, last week I was so busy, of course, with the gala dinner and everything. I did not make a lot of content about the MK political party. The MK is doing well, Bafetu. The organized, chaotic MK political party is doing well. I know the MK party are going to attack me on the comment section for calling them chaotic. But there's some order to the chaoticness of the MK political party. They're winning wards from the ANC, winning wards from the DA, winning wards from the IFP. The MK political party is doing well. Now, can you guys see that Jacob Zuma, who we say is a criminal, an uneducated man, who we say he is a dictator there in his political party. You guys remember I made a video about the Zuma Ubaba said clause that rules above the constitution of the MK political party. Everything that Jacob Zuma is doing in that political party is working. The enemy can't stand it. The enemy, listen, they can't stand it. They want to unalive him. The state wants to unalive him. They want to take him out. It's a painful statement. The enemy wants to take him out. Excuse me, not the state. The enemy wants to take him out. They want him out. The state can't stand him. The way that party is progressing. All the signs are there that the ANC is going to fall below 35%. All the signs are there. The first sign that you know that the ANC is going to fall below 35% is the coalition government and the attack that the DA continues to make on the government and the Communist Party deciding to go alone. There is a lot of Communist Party members that are going to go to the MK political party, mark my words, especially after the Communist Party does not perform well in the local elections. They are not going to go back to the ANC. All of them are going to flock to the MK political party. The Communist Party, as we know it, will die after performing poorly after the elections. But this MK political party, I'm watching them, I'm like, hey, what is going on in the MK? Organized in social media. They did some mistakes in parliament, trying to get an impeachment of a minister and all of those things. But even all of they stay in the headlines, like we talk about the MK all the time. MK is doing very well. Numbers don't lie. Numbers don't lie. You see how the EFF is suffering on the ballot paper. You on the by-elections. You see how the ANC is suffering. You see how the IFP is suffering when we're talking about the issue of KwaZulu-Natal. You can see what is happening there. And if you don't catch the drift right now, I don't know. I don't know what is it that we are waiting for. Jacob Zuma is playing us. We are in the chessboard, and he's making the moves. He's making the moves. So for our Raymond to try and tell us that the judiciary, I keep on messing these words up. This word up. The judiciary is focused on serving justice. That when you are a president, whoever you are, as long as you break the law, we can take you to prison. Is total bullshit. There's no such thing. There's no such thing. Our courts have got eyes. They favor other people and they arrest other people. That is true. The Pala issue, we must never let it slide as African people. There was foreign currency found in a sofa. People stole that money and they skipped the country and they were found somewhere else with that money. People were arrested, a court case started. All of a sudden, the NPA in Limpopo then drops the charges, said nobody's going to be arrested. And all of a sudden, no, let's seal these documents, let's leave this thing alone. And you want to tell me that we must believe in the judiciary of our country? Absolutely not. Our Raymond Zondo, their day must come, man. Your Pumanini, file up. Their day must come. Their day must come. Anyway, Nasiphi Moya has switched off lights at a hospital and people are going crazy because of that. How can a full mayor not have a heart and switch off lights for a hospital? I'm not sure how to feel about it, but let's listen to her first and let's just hear her saying that nobody is special in front of the Tshwane Yatima campaign. Listen to this.
Resident of Tshwane, we are at the end of our Tshwane Yatima program for today. We have switched off private businesses, we have switched off households, we have switched off government. We are very consistent. We do not have people that we do not switch off in this campaign. It's quite important that we must raise the revenue. The services that we are complaining about will not be able to deliver if we do not collect a revenue. So we do this so that the businesses as well as government must know that they have a responsibility to pay for our services.
Okay, yeah, we hear you, Mayor. It's, sometimes when you are dealing with the poorest of the poorest, the sick and the elderly, you have to practice some type of discretion there where other alternatives are chosen. According to me, if there is a house in a certain community where there's an elderly lady staying there, she's owing municipal rates or whatever, she's in her whatever age she is, in the 80s, very elderly person, and when we look at our books we can see this person owes us. For me, as a politically conscious politician, I would not switch it off. That is me. I would not switch it off. When the frustration comes, when I remember during was it during COVID where other people were suffering, because remember even during COVID we were suffering because of that snake under the radar, where the load shedding was at the highest point in South Africa, and we saw there were people that got unalive because they were using oxygen machines at home, and the load shedding will come in different hours, or would stay in a longer duration time, where they will say it will return after 2 hours and they don't return, and people will panic, and people were actually unalive because of that. So with that, people are saying, but why must we pay and the hospitals not pay? The hospital is not paying because funds are being directed to other things. Every hospital gets funding, and that funding is called water and light money or budget that they must use, and they are not using it. Fire these people that are in charge in these hospitals. Fire them. How can you owe 1 million rand in electricity bill? Municipal. Fire these people. Fire them. Let a person know that when you are working in a hospital, in a public building or whatever the case can be, do not take your chances and take their rates money and use it for other things. Don't take that chance. So they said no, they were busy making the payment when she switched off. Yeah, well, why are you making the payment when the electricity is being switched off? What were you waiting for? Why didn't you make that payment last month? I mean, what type of rubbish is that? I mean, it's crazy. And now the issue is that now we want to hear the opinions of the other political parties. What does the ANC say about this switching at the hospital? Because according to me, this is the first time I hear that somebody did something like that to a hospital. The first time. You guys might fact check me on that one. It's the first time I hear that the hospital electricity was being switched off in a hospital. What does the Pan-Africanist EFF say? They're in the same coalition with Action SA. What do they say? Are they favoring this? The EFF? What is their statement going to be? The EFF releases statements all the time. The MK, what are they saying about this? Are they quiet? No. Is the electricity still off today? Or is it a switch on? What is going on? You know, those type of things. The ANC, Abu Panyaza, the Sufi, what are they saying? Are they in favor? Are they, protecting Nasiphi Moya's actions to switch off electricity in a hospital? Then the follow-up questions would be, is it the only hospital in South Africa that owes more than $1 million? But best believe it's not. Best believe it's not. Medcop is, I don't think it's not such a big hospital compared to others. I'm sure there are others that are owing more than that. Why is it that they don't get switched off? Because if you switch off in one hospital, then do it in all the other hospitals. Let's see that you are fair. You understand what I'm saying? And when I say other hospitals, I mean let it be in other provinces also. Where are the other mayors? Where are the other mayors? The mayor of Johannesburg, Kuruleni. What is happening at Tegwini? What is happening in other provinces? What is happening? Are all the hospital bills in order in terms of the municipal rates? That's the question that the person then asks. And I think that's a report that must come to the floor so that we as South Africans can be brought to confidence as to what is happening. You can't switch off one and there's others that are still owing and you don't switch off. It's unfair. It's unfair. And again, where do we draw the line? Where do we draw the line? Because here you can literally unalive someone by switching off electricity in a hospital. Literally. I don't favor it. I don't think it's fair. I think there's other consequence management practices that can be done to people that are managing these hospitals. I don't know. For me, I will never switch off. I don't know. I will never do that. I will never do that. But maybe some of you have got an argument. There's a colleague of mine that argued very well with me and said, listen, there are people in the township that suffer because of lack of electricity, especially those who are using oxygen machines at home. There's thousands of them in the entire South Africa, or let me rather say hundreds of them in the entire of South Africa. And when electricity is gone, they suffer. So nobody's crying for them. Why should we cry? That's what my colleague was saying. I do not agree with those sentiments, but I wouldn't switch off electricity for a hospital. It's not in a spirit of Ubuntu to do that. It's not in the spirit of Pan-Africanism. That's why we say politicians need to have a political mandate and not always a profit-driven mandate, because that's what we see with our ministers of finance, that they don't care about the community, whether they raise VAT or whatever they do. Inflation is killing us. They don't care. There's no assistance and all of that. If a politician does not have that heart for the community, for me, it's a problem. So for me, this is the first mark that I'm marking the Action SA to say we need to note that this Nasiphi Moya also is uncontrollable in a way. For me, you can say whatever you want to say on the comment section. I will respect it. Thank you so much, ladies and gentlemen, for tuning in. Until we meet again, don't forget to pray. But after you pray, stand up, African child. Do your best so that God can do the rest. Peace in Pan-Africanism. I salute you.